Hey, folks, welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. Don Barnes III, Chief Tire Guy at Belle Tire, is our guest today. Belle Tire is 181 locations with 5 more under construction, and they're based out of Michigan. But before we begin, this episode is brought to you by Tread Partners. Tread Partners is the leading digital marketing agency that specializes in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. Tread Partners works with its clients that have hundreds of locations down to 5 locations. Get a professional, unbiased opinion and let Tread Partners review what you got going on. It starts with a simple conversation. To contact Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com. As you guys know, I like to do a shout out for a past guest. My past guest shout out today is Jesse Wickel with Wickel Tire Pros in Idaho. This guy took a business doing $1.2 million in gross sales to $26 million in 7 years. He gives some practical advice that I love. Please check out the podcast at GainTractionPodcast.com, or you can find it on YouTube channel Gain Traction Podcast. Welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. I am Mike Edge, your host, and I have the privilege of interviewing the tire dealers, shop owners, counter sales reps, technicians, industry executives, and other thought leaders of our industry. So let's get started. Don, welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast. Glad to have you.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So, I told you this before, and I love your all's history. I love the fact that you're a family-owned business around 103 years now, founded in 1922. You guys have stood the test of time.
We have, and we're very blessed to be this 103-year-old company, but at the same time going through a lot of internal transformation as we continue to build upon really the next century.
Yeah. One of the things that screams loudly to me, and it's on your website, but it's the fact that you guys say, hey, we're all about customer service. Now, listen, that gets a little cliche, right? Everybody likes to say that. But one of the things I thought was really cool is that you guys highlighted this in your all tires purchases included. It's on the website. It's in black and white. And I just love the fact that you highlight them. It's not that these are overwhelming or that anybody doesn't do some of these, but you guys do all of these things, and you have 181 locations, like I mentioned, but flat tire repair, tire rotations, alignment checks, free air at all locations 24/7, free rebalancing, and safety inspections. I think that just bodes well on this image you guys have of customer service.
Yep, Mike, we really like to focus on starting with the customer, working our way back on really anything we do. Yeah, we want to continue to sell tires and sell new tires, quantities of 4, et cetera. But really what the end game is making sure that we take care of our customers. When these are our neighbors, people are really doing business within a few miles of where they live. So everyone that's walking into our, soon to be 185 locations, these are all of our neighbors, whether fixing a flat, getting new tires, something that they're really not looking forward to. And so our focus is really being that strategic partner for them for all of their car care needs. And, it's easy to maybe, sell a flat or charge $25 fix a flat. But over time, being able to capture the lifetime value of that customer by having those surprise and delight moments when they come in for a flat tire and just kind of handing them their tea, will say, hey, nothing today. Come back when you need tires or come back when you need something. That really resonates. And customers love that surprise and delight moment because they're expecting to have to get out the wallet. And when they don't, and we just want to take care of them, we really are able to get sticky. And not only just get sticky for return, is they're going to tell all their friends and family. And ultimately what we want all of our neighbors to come and have all of their car care needs done and facilitated by them.
And it it's contagious too. Like once you start doing that, and that's the expectation you put in the marketplace, the people, there's something, like if you look at your map and you got to travel around Michigan or Northern Ohio or Indiana, or now over in the Chicago area, and these locations are there, there's something comforting about knowing that, if I got a problem, I'm going to take it back to somebody that I know. And, we all travel a lot, right? I mean, people go great distances, but it's easy to travel within 100-mile radius of your house. 200-mile radius, and to know that there's another Belle Tire, man, it's got to feel good.
The convenience of the locations is great. Here in the Midwest, we think we can drive, anywhere, anything, right? A 5 to 10 hour drive is something that many of us do kind of all of the time. So being able to have locations really spread out all over the Midwest really is a different level of comfort to customers that if there were to be, have a need for anything related to their tires or their car, you'd be able to.
Yeah. Well, another thing about customer service that I noticed that you guys have, I think this is really cool. You're into windshield replacement too. I mean, what sparked that? I mean, obviously the need, you saw a market opportunity, but
Yeah, there's a market opportunity, but the way that we've always positioned ourselves, we want to be that one-stop shop for all of, customers' car care needs.
yeah,
And when you're driving behind a tractor trailer or whatever it may be, you get the pebble that comes up, you hear that infamous, smack on the windshield, and it's like oh crap, I gotta go get this done. And we're blessed to have, so many, real customer base, and to have to turn that customer away to get that facilitated elsewhere with something where we say, hey, this is a great service that we could provide to, all of our customers that we have, or possibly bring in new customers, through, glass type of business, be able to, again, look at the vehicle, inspect their tires, make sure their vehicle's in good working order. Because again, what we want is we want that customer to leave safe. We want to know that vehicle was looked over, was saved, inspected, and that when they hit the road, again, they're being very worked.
it really is fantastic. I know I told you this already, but when I was going up to Fort Wayne or up through Fort Wayne, and we were going to Southern Michigan last weekend, I passed one of your stores, and so in my area, I don't get to see Belle Tire a lot, but when I saw it, I was just like, man, that is one good looking store. And even my son picked up on it because he knows what business I'm in and everything, and he's like, that's a good looking store. I'm like, yeah, it is. And it's just funny. He's 17, but the fact that that it caught my attention, I thought it looked professional, but it also screamed detail to me. Like you guys are you're really concerned about the detail of your parking lot, the looks of your building. You want it inviting. It's to say to everybody out there, come to us because we have a warm facility that you feel comfortable in. You can enter the door and not feel like it's some drungy place or whatever. And it looked professional. I couldn't compliment it enough. And it just looked like you guys have an attention to detail. So I got to imagine the same things on the inside with the work being done.
I certainly appreciate the kind words, and
You're
yeah, it
welcome.
really is important to us. I mean, we take great pride and think that we have a reputation in the industry of really kind of being at the tip of the spear in terms of driving, being customer centric, driving revenue, making customers want to come back. And so the way that we think of things is, yes, we're in the retail business, and the saying that we have is retail is detail. Every single touch point, every customer touch point, it's really important. And if it's not important, then we need to stop doing it altogether. But if
I
we
like
are to
that.
focus on something, let's make sure we're very thoughtful and we start from kind of the customer's perspective and work back. Because again, it is a low frequency purchase. It's a high dollar purchase. It's a high anxiety purchase. And so any moment of where, the customer journey starts, whether it be first online, whether it be coming into our retail store, every touch point is welcoming to lower the shield, lower the anxiety. So people do start to interact with, one of our sales associates, they feel comfortable. They feel like they're going to not only just integrate experience, but they're going to have a trusted advisor to really make a recommendation and educate them on whatever they need as they're coming in. So for us, it's always about starting with the customer, working our way backwards, and focusing on every detail of the business because that's what we're in. I mean, we're in the retail business, but we're really in the service business. I mean, we look at product marketing as a Michelin tire or a Goodyear tire or a brake pad or chopper strut. They're essentially all the same, right? Whether it be through us or any of our competitive set. And really the difference is the people. It's the people standing at the pod, standing at the counter, answering the phone, engaging with the customer coming in. And it's how we make the customer feel when they leave. Yeah, we can do a great job in trying to maybe maximize the transaction, but are we also maximizing the happiness and making sure that customer wants to come back? And so for us, it's all about let's start with the customer, make sure they have a great experience. Let's educate them. Let's work with them together as a partner in what we're looking to accomplish rather than try to negotiate and have this big barrier or counter between us to figure out who's going to win, because it's not a zero sum game. Belle Tire can win. The way we're going to win is by making sure our customers feel good when they win.
Man, it's so important, and your attitude is contagious because you've been in this a long time, and the fact that you still recognize that, hey, this is beyond just the business. This is taking care of people when they don't want the problem,
Right.
and the reality is, it's just the reality of life. We all have vehicles, and there're going to be problems. So how do you mitigate it and make it as minimal as a soft landing is what I guess you could say that you guys are doing. But I was going to ask you too, what is one of your favorite quotes or something you live by? But I think I'm gonna steal one from you. I love that you just said retail is detail.
Retail's detail.
I like that a lot.
Well, we got a lot of different sound bites, Mike. I mean, that's one that, we say quite a bit. But, what's also fun is, our job is we get the opportunity to be the moment in time we make that customer's day better. Right. If they're having to come to us or anyone, they're probably not that excited, right? Because again, it's that oh crap moment, blowout tire, again, having to spend a lot of money where maybe you're not, it's unplanned. So we have the opportunity to wear the red cape. This is what we talk about all the time is, we have someone that is come in, maybe unsure, again, not budgeted for it, and we get the opportunity every day with every customer to make their day better. And I think working in a job like that, in an industry like that is so cool because again, these are our neighbors. These are the neighbors that, we serve and we see in the grocery stores, at the gas pump, at our kids, softball games, and different types of community events. These are the people that, we get the opportunity to serve and earn their trust, with all their car care needs. So it is something that we take great pride in, but we also understand it's a huge, really obligation commitment to live by these principles. I mean, you can say them all day long, but it's real whether or not you live the culture, breathe it all the time. I mean, that's what's fun is the ability to serve our customers. I take care of them in the moment where they're not excited, they're not happy, and to make them be that moment in time that day to solve their
Yeah.
problem. I think that's really, really
I do too. That's what I love about this industry, but I love to find guys like yourself that are still passionate. And you're several generations into this, and you're just as passionate as probably your granddad was. Let's talk about that history a little bit because I haven't asked you, like, did you always know that you were going to do this when you were in the family business?
yeah. I mean, ever since I was, I'd say 2 years old, I knew this was something I wanted to do. It's to work for Belle Tire. I'm going to gently push back and say, we really don't look at ourselves as a family business. We look at ourselves as a business. We happen to have family members that work in it. We have, two brothers that own it. But really, this is a business first. So all of our decision making is always about what do we do? What's best for Belle Tire? What's best for our customers and our employees? And if we really focus on those things, in this case, the Barnes family beat us by. So, old cliche, leaders eat last, and that's something that we really, really focus on. It's just that we got to make sure it's not about the Barnes family, but more about Belle Tire first. So, I like to say is we do have family members that own the business, but we are a business first. All decision making is about again what is best for Belle Tire and our customers.
I love that. No,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I appreciate the pushback. Well, like, so one of the things I noticed too that you guys do, and I think this is really cool. I mean, it's part of your community involvement, et cetera, but you guys are big fans in hockey. So you run a youth hockey league.
We
Tell
do.
me about that. I think that's awesome.
So this was really more a passion project that my dad started. He grew up playing hockey. I grew up playing hockey. You have a brother, grew up playing hockey. And this was a way for us to kind of, create our charitable arm, of Belle Tire. There's so many great life lessons that you can learn from playing the game of hockey in terms of, teamwork, grittiness, healthy lifestyle, leadership. There's so many things that you learn from playing the game of hockey that you can really take on with you the rest of your life. And again, I'm a hockey guy, so I'm biased, but I think us hockey guys are filled differently to where when you meet one, you can kind of sense one, and there was a special pack. So for us, it was a way to really kind of get back to the community and help, create this program to where, state of Michigan has, what is a breeding ground for NHL players. We have, a couple NHL players play in the league right now, but it's a great sport, something that you can play for a long, long time, but even more so the characteristics that you learn from playing is something that will help you on from the rest of your career.
Real quick, how many teams are in the league?
So we have the largest youth hockey organization in the United States. And we have 37 teams, both guys and girls, starting, from U18 down to kind of learn to skate programs, AAA travel, AA single A, all the way down to house team. So it's really a comprehensive team from, call it, 4 years up to U18.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, it's interesting you say that about hockey because I think I look at it, hockey as a kind of a, not a kind of, it is a contact sport. And it's hard to describe this because
That's what's fun about it. The pirate is a contact sport. It's hand-to-hand combat, especially, these last few years where, whoever can kind of keep their head down and be gritty and be resilient in everything, right? So whether it be, scrapping for pucks in the corner or, trying to make sure, you became the customer come in. There's so many similarities between our industry and being successful because it's not one big play. Like you got to win every shift. You got to win with every customer. You got to, even when things aren't going your way, you got to be resilient. You got to be ruthless in a way, not from up and, but just to ruthless in a way to keep persevering, moving forward, having a great attitude, bringing high energy, to your team. Because as a leader, if you want your team to show up at a 10 level, you got to be at a 15, right? You've got to bring it every single day and really set the tone for, what's there to come. And I think there's so many similarities between what we do, at our tire stores versus what goes on at the ice and not.
I really, really like that. So I didn't grow up playing hockey, but I played football and rugby, and then all my sons have played football. It's been interesting because my sons were far better than I was, so I love that, But it was interesting. My son said this last year, and it's a big crosstown rivalry game, and we're a 2A school, they're a 5A school, and in the past, they used to beat us. Not so much anymore. It's usually a 50-50 split now and year after year, and so it's become even a bigger rival. But we got down 10 points in the game last year, and I was asking my son, you always breaking it down with your son after the game or whatever, and he goes, "You remember where we got down 10, Dad?" He goes, "I wasn't worried a bit." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I felt like we were dominating them. Like, we had the momentum, even though the scoreboard didn't show it." He said, "I just felt like we were getting the best of them." And then we ended up winning the game. And but I loved his attitude. He never let down. And what I love about team sports like that, and I'm biased, so I'm going to say in particular, contact sports, there's always the thing about contact sport is you're going to get knocked on your butt, and not just figuratively, literally. And you gotta get back up and decide what you're going to do and how you're going to respond. And that's what I love about those kind of sports, because the camaraderie you build with your teammates is that unity factor. Everybody knows what everybody's suffering through. Everybody knows they paid their dues in practice and things like that. And when you take that attitude and you apply it to business, I think it works very well.
It does. And like our industry, these last few years, it's been tough. We've kind of been in this tire recession. And
Yeah.
it's easy to, kind of focus, maybe go chase the shiny object on, what if we try this? What if we do that? It's really hard sometimes to be thoughtful and kind of trust the plan. Even if business is flat or it's down a couple points, is this something that we got to tweak, or is this something that we just got to weather the storm? And, for us, a lot of times it's, hey, let's make sure we're not believing our OBS. We use that as a kind of a check and gauge every now and then. But other than that, if we're confident in the plan, sometimes you just got to weather the storm. And sometimes it's that resiliency that allows things to do get better once business does come back. And it's easy to throw the baby with the bathwater, but it's harder to stay resilient when you have headwinds that are kind of slowing you down. So ultimately, It's what type of tone are you setting? What type of energy you being? Are you being a great colleague? Are you listening? Are you bringing the high energy to, make sure the team around you is bringing, that? And then ultimately, are we focused purely on the customer or like that? Because if we do that, we'll never make a wrong decision. We may not always get the desired outcome we want, which is okay, right? Well, it's not okay, but if we focus on the customer again, in the long time, we'll be winning more of the worlds.
No, I absolutely love it. Well, going back to you personally a little bit. So you got into this. You knew you were going to do it since you were two. Um, your brother's in it with you, right? And then like where did you see yourself? You know, you've been in it what almost 20 years now, something like that. Yeah. So I mean, you got a lot of history in it now. Where do you see it going? You know, what's Tire's business go in the next 1, 3, 5 years? I mean, obviously, I see you guys moving into Chicago. That's one of them.
Yeah, what's fun is that, we're a 103-year-old company. We have very ambitious growth plans over the next 5 years or so. So there's this general feeling of, I don't want to say like a startup feeling, but really kind of like a startup feeling, but having 103 years of financial security behind us. So it is really fun. We're going through this kind of transformational journey, and being with the company for 20 years, called formally, but then really growing up in it. It's been fun to see the step changes and the transformational change that Bell has made over the last 23 years. I mean, 10 years ago, we had, 80 stores, and we were able to, so from our first 93 years of business, it took us 93 years to get to 80 stores. The last 10, we went from, 80 to 181 with 5 more. And we're looking to be, north of 300 stores in the next 5 years. So the amount of the locations we've been able to add, not just to grow in terms of location count, but the communities that we're serving, really high NPS scores, really high customer service scores. We're not diluting the overall experience, nor are we diluting, I'll say, the AUV, right? How our stores are performing financially and all. So being able to copy and paste our model in new markets where people aren't familiar with who we are. I remember when we went to went to Indiana, we entered the Indiana market via South Bend. We kind of put signs in the ground where our stores were going, and, with a now hiring phone number people could call, and, they thought we were Belle Tire. So we quickly realized we can't have a if you build it, they'll come model, because they're not familiar. So it's been a lot of fun, I'll say, enhancing our processes, breaking things on our own timeline to see where there are pinch points that would limit our ability to grow and scale, and keep, building it out and making ourselves better. So we're at this really kind of fun transformational phase in our 103-year-old journey to prepare us for the next 100 years. As we go from 180 to 250 to 300 and beyond. It's a really exciting time here at Belle Tire.
I love it. What about before I let you go, just to let the audience know a little bit more about who you are? You got a I don't know. I always like to ask favorite movie, but favorite movie or favorite food you like to talk about?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm a tire guy, so I love all the food. Yeah,
All
so
right,
that
what's your favorite? If you had to go to an island and you were only going to get this one style food the rest of your life,
I'm
what
a
would it
big
be?
Turk guy. I don't think you never go wrong with surfer Turk. That's always good.
That covers a little bit. That's good.
It covers a lot, right? So it's all a thing. It's kind of all encompassing. But yeah, that's probably my go-to meals is a thing serving. It's great.
I love it. I love surf and turf myself. I think my audience knows this though. Yeah, I talk about it a lot, but I'm a typical Southern boy. I'd probably eat barbecue. Now, barbecue's broad, right? I mean, I don't have to have particular. If the parking lot's full, it's probably a really good one, and I'm gonna like the flavor. I like smoked meat, so mine if I was on an island be barbecue, and I get a little variety in there too, right? You know, you get your ribs, your
Oh,
chicken,
sure.
pork, yeah. So, well, I can't thank you enough for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
Oh, it was again, thank you, Mike, for having me. It was great talking with you. And thank you for letting us share a little bit about our story here, Hope Fire.
Absolutely, and I want to give a shout out to Sonny McDonald, he actually introduced us with Toyota Tire.
Buddy's great. Someone's great.
He is, and he always thinks about us and thinks about good guests, and I'm glad he introduced us. So, to all our audience out there, thank you for being part of the podcast. You know we love you. Until next time, we'll see you here on Gain Traction Podcast. Have a great day. To all our listeners, thank you for being part of the Gain Traction Podcast. We are grateful for you. If you'd like to find more podcasts like this, please visit gaintractionpodcast.com. If you'd like to make a guest recommendation, please email me at mike@treadpartners.com. This episode has been powered by Tread Partners, the leader in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. To learn more about Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com.